What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're back with some more super realistic rebuilds. We're kind of wrapping up this series. We have like 9 more teams I think left to do, and today we're going to be doing the Chicago Bulls. Before we go any further into this video though, guys, go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you have not already. Only takes 2 seconds of your time and is greatly appreciated. Also, guys, been plugging this lately. I did start a Madden rebuild channel, so if that interests you at all, link is down below. Chicago Bulls went all in this previous offseason by getting DeMar DeRozan. They trade for Nikola Vucevic at the previous trade deadline, and of course they signed Lonzo Ball, DeRozan, and Alex Caruso. So this team kind of went for it, and it's paid off so far. They're the 2nd seed currently as I'm recording this video. Unfortunately, they did lose Patrick Williams for the season, which it sucks so bad. It really does. Was supposed to be like a really good starter for them this year. They're 3-and-D wing player, and unfortunately he just had to go down. So very unfortunate circumstances there. Kobe White looks like he's got a 1 to 2 week calf muscle injury, but other than that, this team obviously is going to be solid for quite some time. DeMar DeRozan, as we know, a lot of people were talking crap about the signing that the Chicago Bulls made for DeMar DeRozan, whether it was one of the worst contracts free agency, and honestly he's been very good for them this season. So DeMar DeRozan, very solid in Chicago. And I don't know if I expect this team to go on to win a championship this year, but they should definitely be interesting in the East, if nothing else. So for this first season, of course, like usual, we don't really do anything. We just sit back, relax, and watch, especially when a team like this is so damn good. We're not going to get too aggressive. We're not going to do anything this first season. We're going to sit back and see how this team's going to perform without me doing anything. One thing Chicago did get in trouble for, though, is tampering, as they lost their 2nd-round pick. I think it's for this next season, but I could be wrong. But yeah, they lost a 2nd-round pick for tampering, along with I forgot who the other team was, but Chicago, and I think it was I think it was the Heat, I believe, for the Kyle Lowry thing. But other than that, we're gonna go ahead and simulate the rest of this first season, see how this team performs, see if we can go ahead and maybe compete for a championship this year. And of course, once we get in the offseason, we'll make some more structural changes. Additionally, today's video is sponsored by Prize Picks, which is a DFS player props app that's matching up to a $100 deposit when you use my code Crushables. Let me show you. Prize Picks is a DFS app where you're literally facing no one other than the numbers. You're just facing the projections. Let me show you some of my past entries. So on this one, I decided to do a power play where I decided to bet the over on Rudy Gobert and Harrison Barnes. The power play was able to 3 times my money, and Rudy Gobert and Harrison Barnes were both able to hit, which mounted me to $150. On this one, I did a flex play with LaMelo, Fred VanVleet, Joe Harrison, Gordon Hayward. Unfortunately, Joe Harris was only like 3 points off. If he literally hit one of his threes, I would have walked away with $100. So unfortunate, but that's just what happens. But I didn't walk away with nothing, as I was still able to win $32 after only betting 21. So I didn't walk away with nothing. So you can decide whether or not you want to do flex plays or power plays. Feel free to use my link in the description. Of course, you can always ask me on Twitter if you have any questions, and use my code Crushables when you sign up. No, 2K and real life don't always translate, as we finish up as the 10th seed in the East, while the Chicago Bulls real life are currently the 2nd seed, like I mentioned earlier. So pretty unfortunate this season, obviously. Didn't go as planned, I would say. Luka Doncic, Bradley Beal, Giannis, LeBron, Jokic is your All-NBA first team. Here's your All-NBA second team. Jimmy Butler's hurt, and then here's your All-NBA third team. So we are in the play-in, I guess, at the very least, but obviously, you know, we would like to have been in the playoffs. Looking at the player stats, we had 28 from Zach LaVine, 23, 18, 13. So I'm not really sure, you know, what went wrong, but just not a good season at all for what we should have been able to do. So pretty unfortunate, but, you know, maybe we can still get in the playoffs. Let's just go ahead and submit through game through the Knicks, and we are going to lose. So we're not even going to get in the postseason, rather be in the lottery. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Orlando Magic have our pick this offseason, or it might be next year, which I think it's next year, actually, now that I think about it. But we have the Miami Heat going on to win the champion as the 2nd seed in the East, as they beat the Golden State Warriors in 7 games. All right, draft lottery time. Like I said, I believe it's next year, but I could be wrong. We're projected the 12th pick, so yeah, it looks like the Magic have our pick next year. So we're in the lottery, which is obviously not where we want to be as a Chicago Bulls franchise. We made all those moves to make the playoffs, and in 2K, we didn't do that. So 13th pick is going to go to Dallas, and I imagine we're not going to get lucky and jump up. Actually, we went down to the 13th pick. The Mavericks have leapfrogged into the top 4 from number 13. Wow, that is the luckiest thing I've ever seen. So Mavericks had the number 2 pick. They're projected number 13 and go all the way to number 2. Luka Doncic is going to get some damn help, it looks like. So we have the 13th pick in the draft. Nothing crazy. Staff signing. We have Billy Donovan. We have Maurice Cheek still signed. So I think we're going to just go ahead and, of course, like usual, fill out the rest of the staff. as much as possible. So we need a wing whisperer. I see Warren Thompson. We'll sign him. Then perimeter D coach, we'll go with Charles Wells. And then a shot doctor, we're going to go with Mr. Johnny Griffith, as we're going to sign both of them. And last but not least, we'll go for a big man coach in Tracy Banks. Okay, so we have that all filled out. New staff, awesome. Let's go to the draft now. So honestly, on draft night, we have a lottery pick, and we could, draft here, or like usual, we could get aggressive and trade it. I don't know if it'll let me trade it, actually. Okay, it will. So cool. We can actually trade it. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let me make sure it's on. Stepien rule is on. Okay, I just want to make sure that I wasn't messing up or anything. So, Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, Kobe White. I mean, what? I guess I should probably look at it in this or in this capacity. So, trade finder. That way we see who's still under contract. So, point guards. So, our point guards are good. Kobe White, obviously we're going to sign Zach LaVine. So, Kobe White could be a trade piece because obviously, some team might want a 22-year-old guard who might, have a better opportunity somewhere else. DeMar DeRozan, of course, we're going to keep. Javonte Green, 20 years old, 76, solid bench piece. Patrick Williams, of course, we wanted him to be more part of the rotation, got hurt. So there's really no one here I want to trade other than like maybe Kobe White. So I can like try Kobe White in the 13th pick on draft night and see if like that gives me anything cool. But Harrison Barnes pops up, which sounds cool and all, but Jeremy Grant sounds interesting, but I don't want to get Jeremy Grant today. I'm gonna try to stay away from that. So I think we're just gonna draft here. I think we're just gonna draft with our pick here. So let's just go at number 13 and just see who we can grab to add to this talent. So of that we already have. So Dylan Durant goes number 1. Shalom Gruden goes number 2. Paulo goes number 3. Patrick Baldwin. Okay. Let's see if there's anyone. Jaden Hardy almost fell in our laps. That would have been awesome. Okay, we have Trevor Keels on the board. We have Jaden Ivey. I think we take Jaden Ivey here, right? We take Jaden Ivey. Feel good about it. That's gonna be a replacement for Kobe White. That makes Kobe White way more expendable. And we had the 18th pick as well. What from? I'm not even sure what trade that's from. We had the 18th pick. I wonder why with the 18th pick. I'm not totally sure on that, but okay, 18th pick it is. Trevor Keels is still on the board. Do we just go ahead and take another guard here? I'm going to go ahead and take him. All right. So we had the 18th pick and the 13th pick. I'm not sure why we had 18. Am I tripping? I did not see that we had 18 earlier. Because if I would have known we had 2 first-round picks, I maybe would have been a little bit more aggressive. But Jaden Ivey and Trevor Keels, welcome. Player options, Tony Bradley is going to decline. Elise Johnson and Ayo. I promise you I'm not going to be able to pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try it. I get roasted in the comments for trying to pronounce last name, so now I'm going to worry about it. Let's go to the free agency now, though. All right, so Zach LaVine, of course, big free agent. Not going to want to lose him here. So Zach LaVine, I'm not even going to play with it. I'm just going to go ahead because sometimes he does not re-sign with Chicago, I've noticed in free agency. So we're going to go ahead and, of course, sign Zach LaVine back 1,000%. Do I have to renounce Derrick Jones? Because I don't want to if I don't have to. Okay. And I don't think I have bird rights on anyone else. I do not. All right. Now looking at things. Free agency, obviously not a ton of room to do anything else. So this is what we got. We got Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, and of course Trevor Keels. We have Zach LaVine, Kobe White, Jaden Ivey, and then we have DeMar DeRozan, Javonte Green, Patrick Williams, and then Vucevic and Elise Johnson. So obviously the power forward spot could improve a little bit. The one thing I am going to go ahead and do though is I think I'm going to sign Hassan Whiteside on a 1-year deal to be our backup center. So we'll sign Hassan Whiteside to be a solid backup center whenever Vucevic isn't playing or is injured or whatever it may be. So now I'm looking at things. If I move Patrick Williams to small forward, it does not go up. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, we'll go ahead and move Patrick Williams to, it doesn't really matter what he plays. Okay, so we'll have that. Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, Kobe White. All right, what do I want to do here? I think Kobe White becomes way more expendable, but he only has $7 million attached to his name. And then we have maybe Elise Johnson, Marco. So not a ton that we can do, honestly. Not a ton of money to trade away, unless we like got crazy and traded Alex Caruso away, which I don't really want to do necessarily. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look though around the league because I do want to go ahead and add a really solid bench piece or even a potential starter here at the small forward spot, because that's kind of what we're looking for. We're trying to make this team better, as this team didn't even make the playoffs last year. So we got to find a way to do something here. So I think what I'm going to try to do is try to grab Dylan Brooks from the Memphis Grizzlies, who's going to be a very, very solid starter. As we know, he brings aggressiveness. Like, he's just a very high energy guy, and I would love him in Chicago. Literally just averaged 16.5 points per game for them last year. So Kobe White, Ayo, and then Marco for Dylan Brooks, and they are going to accept that. So just like that, we have ourselves Dylan Brooks, who can now be either a starter or a backup, you know, just DeMar DeRozan. So I honestly would prefer him to start. If I move DeRozan to power forward, he does not go down at all. Obviously, DeRozan's not a power forward. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying DeRozan's a power forward, but I would say that obviously I would rather see Dillon Brooks start more than I would like to see him come off the bench, which is why we might have Dillon Brooks play that. And then one thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to move Patrick Williams to backup small forward. And then maybe Patrick Williams will even start. Who knows? So we'll have that. But I know DeRozan's not a power forward. I know that for a fact. I'm just playing in there for our forward spots because obviously I don't want to see DeMar DeRozan like come off the bench. So, all right. Well, that is going to be our offseason essentially. So go to play progression, just kind of see how it works now. So Dillon Brooks was our acquisition. So now we have DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Lonzo going up 3, Vucevic stays, Alex Caruso doesn't go down. That's good. Brooks, Patrick Williams up 3, Hassan Whiteside down 1. So, you know, not too bad. Solid all around. I think Dillon Brooks was an excellent acquisition to this team. Jaden Ivey is hurt in the G League. That's not good. All right, we'll have CPU adjust the rotation, and then we'll have that happen again. All right, so now we'll go ahead and go into this next season fully healthy, with Jaden Ivey being a huge addition off the bench, obviously. So go straight to next season, and we are power ranking lands us at number 7. So looking at the new starting 5, you have Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, Dillon Brooks now, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, Alex Caruso, Hassan Whiteside, Patrick Williams, and Jaden Ivey, which is, I think, pretty solid rotation. Proficiency-wise, we're sitting at a 4-star balanced. Can we go up anywhere else? No. So balance is going to be our best system to run. Can this team actually make the playoffs this year? Last year was pretty disappointing. I feel like we should be in the playoffs this year, 1,000%, but you never know with this damn game. So let's go ahead. Simulate season number 2 with the hopes we can actually get into the postseason with the addition of Dillon Brooks, Jaden Ivey, and everything else we've done for this roster. Again, a pretty disappointing season. Only 9th seed in the Eastern Conference. So this team is just not really performing where we want them to be, unfortunately. And it shows on the record. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, LaMelo, Shea, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Jokic, All-NBA third team. So pretty unfortunate, I would say. As far as all rookie teams, I saw Lonzo Ball making all defensive first team, which is cool. All rookie team, we got looks like no Jaden Ivey on here. Okay. And then, all right. So yeah, 9th seed in the East. So, you know, it's solid, but we need to get into the playoffs, obviously. So 23 points, 23, 17 from Nikola Vucevic, 13 from Dillon Brooks, and then 13 from Lonzo Ball, and 8 from Hassan Whiteside off the bench. Not too bad. Jaden Ivey was 7, and Alex Caruso was 6. Patrick Williams was 6. So, I mean, this team, it like has the scores on the roster. It has a supporting cast, I would say. So I'm not really sure, you know, why this team isn't performing where they should be, but hopefully we get in the playoffs and maybe we can upset like an AFC seed. So many through game against Detroit, and we're going to lose. So we are not even going to get into the playoffs once again. We are once again going to be on the outside looking in to start off this video. Man, I did not expect this to be that hard. So, all right, I thought for sure going into this that we were going to have like a shoe-in for like a lock like of a playoff team each and every year, but no, it is just not working out in 2K so far. So with that back-to-back performances, I think we fire Billy Donovan. I mean, that's the only other thing I can think to do. Pelicans going to win the championship. So immediately, I turned to Billy Donovan. We're not going to have our draft pick this year because it's going to go to the Orlando Magic. So it was the 13th pick again. So pretty unfortunate circumstances there. We don't even have our pick on draft night because of the Vucevic trade. And then staff signing again. Billy Donovan is gone. Don't plan on re-signing him based off what I've seen so far. We have $5 million to offer someone else a contract. So I see Steve Nash, who has a lot of badges. I can throw him some money. Let's see what else we got. Mason Yee, Crosdale, Donovan. I don't want to get Billy Donovan. Jamal Mosley, who's got some badges. Let's see what else we want to do. Maybe Jason Kidd. He's got a lot of badges, but I don't really know if Frank Vogel. I know he's on a hot seat for the Lakers, so maybe he would become available. Maybe we can go ahead and grab Frank Vogel, snag him up. Maybe we'll see. And I guess I'll offer Jason Kidd some money as well because he's got a lot of badges. So do we get any of them? We get Steve Nash. Okay, we'll take Steve Nash, I guess. Steve Nash is our brand new head coach here in Chicago. So, all right, does that make a difference? Though is the question. It may not. It really may not make a difference. But we'll go ahead and pretend like it's going to, and feel pretty good about our new addition. So, all right, brand new staff now. A little bit of a new staff. We'll keep everything else the same. Let's go to the draft now. So on draft night, we're not gonna have a draft pick, obviously. Jaden Ivey and guys like that should progress even more, though, as far as like backup. So maybe Alex Caruso becomes more expendable here if we wanted to trade him. I don't really want to trade DeMar DeRozan. I don't really want to trade well, I mean, DeRozan is an expiring contract, but there's no offer. So He's had a solid year. He really has. Do we trade him, though, is the question. I don't think so. But I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what else to do to make this team better. So rookie signing, we got Cameron Whitmore out of the second round, who's a 76 overall W. Player option Patrick Williams will accept. Qualifying offers, Devin Dodson. And then, of course, free agency. We have Dylan Brooks, who's a free agent, and Vucevic, which I do want. Which we don't even have Vucevic's bird rights. Is that right? Or did he retire? He didn't retire, did he? Hold on. Okay, it says I don't have his bird rights. That's weird. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and re-sign Dylan Brooks. I'm going to sign Nikola Vucevic back because we can't really afford to just lose him. So Vucevic will sign as well. So we'll sign both of those guys, of course. Scoop them both up. And then last but not least, we definitely have the money. We can sign like Alec Burks. We can sign not Kelly Olynyk. All right, so what else can we do? We have Alex Caruso. So I believe Trevor Keels is going to develop an overall. Caruso has got $9 million attached to his name. I don't really want to trade him necessarily. Cameron Whitmore, solid backup power forward. And I guess the only other thing we could use is a backup center. So Alex Caruso, maybe we just trade Alex Caruso for a backup center. I mean, I don't really know what else. Because the young guys are going to develop. And then again, DeMar DeRozan, is he somebody I should be looking to trade? I don't really want to trade him, like I said. We can grab like Evan Mobley, of course, but this is a super realistic rebuild, so I have to be smart about the trade I'm going to do. And I'm not really sure who to want to take a 33-year-old DeMar DeRozan without us obviously like offering a ton, unless there was a team trying to compete for a championship, which they're probably not going to have a ton of assets to give us. And so trading DeMar DeRozan doesn't make a ton of sense, I don't think. So I think the only thing we're going to do is just trade Alex Caruso for a backup center and hope that we get a really solid one. I hate trading Alex Caruso, but I know Trevor Keels is going to develop, and if we can get a elite backup center, I think it's worth it. Is just sign a center, Kelly Olynyk. And dude, one thing I just noticed, I honestly forgot about this, but Enes Kanter changed his last name to Freedom, and they updated it in 2K. Enes Freedom, that's just so weird to look at. I just like noticed that. I'm like, who the hell is Freedom in free agency? And I forgot Enes Kanter changed his last name to Freedom. No hate intended, by the way. I'm just I was just surprised to see it. So I think we're gonna go straight past player progression and just go straight in to player progression, kind of see. So Alex Caruso went down 3 overall like I thought he would. So Trevor Keels, though, didn't develop. Oh, we went up to a 77. Okay, so yeah, he's right behind Alex Caruso, I would say. So DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo's up to an 87. Okay, I think the trade I wanted to make, if I could make it, is with the Sacramento Kings to get Richaun Holmes, if I could. So Alex Caruso obviously is going to be the guy I'd throw in here. We're 220K off from making this trade. Dotson, I can't throw him in here. Okay, so I don't have anybody that I could throw in here. Obviously, I'm not going to throw Cameron Whitmore. I just drafted him. Dotson would be the only guy I could trade away. So, okay, maybe we wait. Maybe we wait for that trade. Or maybe instead we go for a center, making just less money. Richaun Holmes was the immediate guy that came to mind. But if we could instead go to maybe a center, not making as much money, making around like $9 million a year or something like that. So, let's go to around $9 million. And we got Isaiah Stewart. We got Christian Wood, who's a free agent. Xavier Tillman. Onyeka Okongwu. Do we trade for Onyeka Okongwu? Would they do this? Alex Caruso for Okongwu straight up. Obviously, they're not going to accept that. And we'll throw in. We can't even throw in our first. We can't throw in this first. Okay. Well, we're not going to be able to get anybody yet. So I guess we'll just go to next season with this team that we have right now. Unless if I just, maybe I could throw Alex Caruso in the trade finder here in a second and figure out if there's something going to be better. So, all right. Can this team actually make the postseason? I mean, at this point, that's all we're really waiting for is making the playoffs. So let me throw in Alex Caruso in the trade finder real quick. Grayson Allen, Terrence Mann, Monte Morris, Karen Lewis, Killian Hayes, Dante. Okay, yeah, there's nothing really that good. Okay, so we'll keep Alex Caruso. All right, power ranking lesson number 8. We are, in the running. Dylan Brooks, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic up to an 84. Lonzo's an 87. Williams off the bench. Caruso, Keels, and Jaden Ivey. Of course, the only thing I do want to do is trade Alex Caruso, and I'm going to do that eventually. So, all right, I'm going to probably simulate to like December 3rd and then trade Alex Caruso for a backup big man. So I decided not to trade Alex Caruso because there really wasn't a trade that made sense, and it paid off. We ended up being the first seed in the East, so we finally got a good simulation. I think the development of Ivy a new head coach, and Trevor Keelis probably helped out a lot. Jason Tatum's your MVP. Keontae George, your rookie of the year, and then Jaden Hardy, 6th man of the year on the Thunder. Giannis is defensive player, and then Jonathan Kuminga, most improved, and Steve Nash, coach of the year. As we went 57 and 25. So like I said, I think things went a little bit better as soon as we got more young players and guys developing. So looking at basically the player stats real quick, we had 22.5 from DeMar DeRozan, 22 from Zach LaVine, 19 from Nikola Vucevic, 14 from Lonzo, and then 14 from Dylan Brooks, and of course 9, 7, and then 7, and then 5.5 from Caleb Whitmore, or Cameron Whitmore, I should say. Alex Caruso with only 5 points. So, all right, here we go. I tried to make a trade, like I said, for Alex Caruso for like Rashawn Holmes, but they did not want to accept it. So we finally got to the playoffs. Detroit is the team that eliminated us last year in the play-in. They have Dennis Schroeder, Cade Cunningham, LeVert Bey, and Jalen Duran. So hopefully, you know, we're not prone to being upset by an 8 seed. So let's go ahead and simulate current round. And then I do want to take a look, because I don't even think I messed with this. So here's your rotation, obviously. And then proficiency, we're a 3.5 at perimeter centric. Balance, we're a 4.5. Do I just change this to a balanced? Yeah, I think I changed this to a balanced. Okay. Change the system in the playoffs. That's great. That's a good idea. Somebody current round, and we are going to sweep the Detroit Pistons. So that's off to a very good start, obviously. Now we get to play the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young, Kobe White. We traded Kobe White to Atlanta. Forgot about that. Cameron Reddish, John Collins, Clay Capella, DeAndre. Actually, no, we didn't. I'm stupid. I traded him to Memphis, and he went to Atlanta. Okay. Cameron Reddish, John Collins, Capella, DeAndre Hunter, and Kongwu. Kevin Huerter as well. Benedict Mathurin, Jalen Johnson, and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Okay. So in the current round, actually, let's go game by game because I'm nervous. They're up 1-0. Start this off. 25 from Zach LaVine. They beat us, though. They're up 2-0. Okay. 3-0, and we're going to lose, aren't we? We are going to lose. Okay. Is there any shot we come back from like a 3-0 deficit? Like, is there any way? Let me check. Let me just briefly check and see. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. I think we can come back from this. Okay, we're going to win at least one game. Well, maybe, actually. Okay, beat them by 5. So we're only down. Okay, I didn't mean to click simulate through game, but we lost. We lost in 5. So, boys and girls, what did we learn today? We have learned that 2K hates the Chicago Bulls and loves the Pelicans. So there's no point in me going any further into this video because a super realistic rebuild, I don't even know where would I go with this team? I don't know. This team is really good. And it just, okay, you know what? I give up. I give up, 2K. You won. 2K hates Chicago, loves the Pelicans, and it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video regardless. Disappointing ending, obviously. I thought this roster was already built to win, like really was. So I thought, you know, just adding one more piece of the puzzle, a couple more pieces of the puzzle would have worked out perfectly, but no, it did not. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely leave a like if you did. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, this is Crushables saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.